Okay, so this is my video of clothing identification adaptation. So I did a safety pin adaptation on index cards. They're regular 3x5 index cards, but I cut them in half, so it's 3 by 2.5 inch index cards, and they are bound together by the silver rings that clip together, and they hold index cards so they don't go and get lost. So the first one that I have here, the first index card is there are 3 safety pins on the top, middle, and bottom of the index card, and attached to them are different beads, and that relates to the different shades of the color that are going to be on the clothing tag. I have 1 bead for light, 2 beads for medium, and 3 beads for dark. And on the card as well, I have light, medium, and dark in a dark colored marker, so low vision can see it. And on top of the dark marker, I have braille labels with light, medium, and dark. And for the colors, I started with the primary colors. So I have red, and that's in large print and braille at the bottom of the index card. And for the red color on the clothing label, it's a safety pin on the left side of the tag. So the next one is yellow, and again it's in large print and braille labeled at the bottom, and that's going to be on the top of the tag. And then blue is on the bottom of the clothing tag. And I did it this way. I'm going to scan over to like my layout of it. So I have red, yellow, and blue, the left, the top, and the bottom. And then when we go to more complex colors, or like the secondary colors like orange, green, and purple, I mixed the red and yellow, so it would be an index card, a safety pin on the left and top for orange. That would be mixing red and yellow. So I'll show you a little bit more as we go through. So we have blue here. The braille label is not on the bottom of this index card, it's right underneath the word because I have the safety pin attached to the bottom and I couldn't fit the label. The next one is orange, so you can see here that red is on the left of the clothing tag and yellow is on the top of the clothing tag. So I have orange, I have 2 safety pins on the clothing tag. I have 1 on the left and 1 on the top. And then green is the same concept. The clothing identification label for yellow is the top of the clothing tag, and the identification label for blue is on the bottom of the clothing tag. So for green, I have 2 paper safety pins. I keep calling them paper clips. 2 safety pins on the top of, 1 on the top of the label and 1 on the bottom of the label for green. And then for purple, it's the same concept. I have 2 safety pins, 1 on the left of the clothing tag and 1 on the bottom of the clothing tag, and that corresponds with mixing red and blue. For black, I have just 3 safety pins vertically aligned on the clothing tag right in a row. And then white, I have 3 safety pins horizontally on the clothing tag right in a row, like 1 and then 1 underneath of it and then 1 underneath of that. Gray, I have 2 safety pins diagonal going from the top left down to the bottom right. Tan, I have 1 safety pin going from the bottom left to the top right. And since since brown is a darker shade of tan, I just put another safety pin going the same way from the bottom left to the top right. And all of these labels have large print and braille labels at the bottom. And then for pink, I kind of did the same concept. I have the red color indicator on the left of the clothing tag, and that's going vertical. And then I have the indicator for white, because pink is a mixture of red and white, going horizontally down the center of it. And for the bead placement, I guess it's up to the preference of the consumer. I feel like it would be easier just to put them on the vertical clips. I'm going to go back because I realized that I didn't do the orientation of it. So red is on the left and it is a vertical clip on the left-hand side of the label. Yellow is placed horizontally on the top of the label. Blue is horizontally on the bottom of the label. Oops. And then orange is one vertical safety pin on the left and one horizontal on the top. Green, one horizontal on the top of the label and one horizontal safety pin on the bottom. Purple is one vertical safety pin on the left of the clothing tag and one horizontal safety pin on the bottom. And then I already went over the orientation of black, white, tan, and brown and pink. So that is my labeling system for clothing items. And again, here is what I used for reference. And that is it.